What if the most powerful psychic in anime was suddenly dropped into the world of My Hero Academia? This isn't just a simple crossover idea. Imagine this: Shigeo Kageyama, better known as Mob, finds himself not in Seasoning City, but in the bustling, hero-filled metropolis of Musurafu. One moment he's walking home from school. The next he's surrounded by towering skyscrapers and people with strange abilities they call quirks. He just wants a quiet life to not stand out, but in a city where 80% of the population has superpowers, his desire for normalcy makes him the biggest anomaly of all. He's disoriented, lost, and completely alone. As Mob tries to get his bearings, his immense psychic energy begins to ripple through the city. It doesn't register as a quirk on any scanner. It's something else. This strange energy spike immediately puts him on the radar of pro heroes and even the faculty at UA High. They can't identify it, they can't classify it. And that makes him a person of extreme interest. He bumps into a green-haired boy, muttering to himself while furiously scribbling in a notebook. It's Izuku Midoriya, Deku himself. Yet he feels an undeniable pressure radiating from this quiet boy. Their conversation is awkward, with Mob being shy and reserved, and Midoriya being an overeager fanboy of all things heroic. But then chaos erupts. A minor villain, maybe someone with a simple gigantification quirk, starts causing a scene, throwing cars and endangering civilians. Midoriya readies himself to jump in, but before he can even move, Mob acts. With a simple, almost lazy flick of his wrist, he stops a car flying towards a family. The vehicle freezes in midair, glowing with a soft blue aura, and is gently placed back on the ground. The villain is then encased in the same energy and pinned to a wall, completely immobilized. Mob didn't even break a sweat. To the onlookers, it was an incredible display of a powerful telekinesis quirk. But to Midoriya, who saw it up close, it was something more profound. There was no physical strain, no telltale signs of quirk usage. It was effortless, silent, and terrifyingly powerful. And Midoriya has a million new questions for his notebook. News of this unregistered quirk user with immense power travels fast, not just through hero networks, but through the underworld as well. Something that can neutralize a threat so effortlessly. They want it. They see Mob not as a person, but as a weapon to be recruited or, if necessary, captured and controlled. The League decides to make their move. They orchestrate an attack, not just on Mob, but in a public space, aiming to draw out you as students to create maximum chaos. And it works. Mob finds himself caught in the middle of a full-blown villain assault. Right alongside the students of Class 1A, Bakugo is blasting his way through enemies. Todoroki is unleashing ice and fire, and Midoriya is pushing One for All to its limits. They're all fighting with everything they have, but Mob is just trying to stay out of the way, to not get involved. He doesn't want to hurt anyone. But the villains are relentless. They target him specifically, seeing him as the prize. They push him, mock him, and attack the people around him. And as the stress mounts, as his desire to protect the innocent clashes with his fear of his own power, we see the number begin to tick up. 10%, 30%, 65%. The pressure in the air becomes suffocating. Class 1A stops in their tracks, feeling a power that dwarfs anything they've ever experienced. 80%, 95%. And then, as a villain lands a cheap shot on Midoriya, it happens, 100%. The world goes silent. Mob rises into the air, surrounded by a swirling vortex of psychic energy that warps the very space around him. Buildings begin to twist, the ground cracks, and the villains are frozen in pure terror. This isn't a quirk. This is a force of nature. He dismantles the villain's attacks without a thought, his power operating on a level that defies all logic of this world. It's not about strength or speed. It's about rewriting reality on a whim. The students of 1A can only watch in awe and terror, as this quiet boy single-handedly ends the battle with a display of power that makes even All for One seem comprehensible. In the aftermath of the battle, the dust settles to reveal a scene of absolute bewilderment. The villains are defeated, but the heroes are left shaken to their core. That's when he arrives, the symbol of peace, All Might, in his towering, muscular form. He approaches Mob, not with aggression, but with a deep, concerned understanding. He saw everything. All Might. The number one hero looks at this small, quiet boy and recognizes that he is not dealing with a quirk. This is something from another world entirely. He powers down to his skeletal form, showing Mob his own vulnerability, a sign of trust. He promises to use all of UA's resources and his own connections to help Mob understand this new world and, hopefully, find a way back to his own. But looking around at the destruction, at the reality of villains and constant danger, he understands he can't simply hide. He can't be a bystander when he has the power to help. With a quiet nod, he accepts All Might's offer. The greatest psychic enters the greatest hero academy, not to become a hero, but to survive. His arrival marks the beginning of a new era for the world of My Hero Academia, a world that is about to learn what happens when an unstoppable force of emotion meets their society of heroes. This is a story that writes itself, a collision of two incredible worlds that would create endless possibilities for character growth, epic battles, and truly heartfelt moments. What do you think would happen next? How would characters like Bakugo or Endeavor react to Mob's percentage meter? Let me know your theories down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this what-if scenario, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more anime deep dives. See you next time.